good. Holman, the kick is no good. It is wide right.
That kick sealed the destiny for John Harbaugh and everyone on this Baltimore Ravens team. I could get mad, I could be angry, I could do this, that, and the other, but in actuality, does a team like this ultimately deserve it? Because at the end of the day, we were expecting this. The Ravens looked dead on arrival at the earliest point of the season. When Lamar Jackson went out with injury, everyone was like, yeah, this team's gonna lose and they're not going to get anywhere close to the playoffs. But they get a couple of good wins against Chicago with a backup quarterback. They beat the Miami Dolphins, and then they beat teams that are middling like the Minnesota Vikings and Cleveland Browns and the Jets. And suddenly people are like, ooh, this team's on a path to potentially get back in the division. And then you realize this is the Baltimore Ravens, and nothing can ever be right. This season was over when Lamar got hurt, but the season was truly over when they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals on primetime on Thanksgiving. That's when the season was over. Yes, they won against Cincy in the run back, and yes, the Steelers fucked up at the very end and made a Week 18 game. But with how the Baltimore Ravens have played, is this outcome really that expected? Yeah, they had Derrick Henry run over the Green Bay Packers. Oh, they had all the momentum coming into the game. Except Green Bay doesn't quite literally have anything resembling a run defense. And yeah, Pittsburgh does have the most expensive defense in football. Believe it or not, there are still talent on that defense. This has been a complete and utter disaster of a season, and there's only one person to blame throughout the entirety of this, and that's John Harbaugh. The coach that won them a Super Bowl about a decade ago has been fired. This is the right decision. The Ravens are doing the right thing. Whether or not John Harbaugh is a good coach does not matter, because at the end of the day, he isn't a career fit here anymore. The constant playoff disappointment is something that goes from, yeah, the players are failing, and then when the players aren't failing, it then goes to something else. It has to go to the coach. How do you explain being first in the AFC, not once, but twice during Lamar Jackson's starting point here, and not even make the Super Bowl once, and now they're stuck at a weird point? This was a must-win year. They were trying to run it back. Turns out, you can't really run it back when no one can actually stay healthy. And the fact of the matter is, Lamar had opportunities to stay healthy throughout the season, but they rushed him out back there just so they could save their job. That's on Harbaugh. That's not on Lamar Jackson. That's not on Derrick Henry. That's not on Zay Flowers. That's not on Isaiah Likely. That is 100% on the coach. John Harbaugh rushed Lamar Jackson out there to save his job, and he didn't. This should happen. Everything that the Ravens are doing right now is 100% correct. And I'd even go as far to say that they need to go a little bit further. We can discuss Lamar's injuries and such all we want, but the fact of the matter is, he was the only reason this team was even in the point in the first place. After all, this was one of their worst defensive years since 2021. The year, believe it or not, they didn't make the playoffs. And this was with guys like Roquan Smith. There's Kyle Hamilton under here. Yes, Marlon Humphreys was hurt, but he was still out there. There's so much talent on that defense. There is no excuse to be in the bottom half of the league as a defensive-minded coach. That's horrible. That is terrible. There's no excuse for Harbaugh. He deserved to be fired. None at all. But I will say this. Not everything is on him. I think we do have to take a look at some of the things that the Ravens have done. Like, for the longest time, people don't notice how bad they kinda are at drafting. Like, yeah, they've hit on guys like Kyle Hamilton, Zay Flowers, even though he's had some issues this year. Oh, but like that should make everything okay. They haven't retained anyone since their 2019 draft class. That's kind of wild. And this is with a team that's had the same GM and the same head coach for about 7 or 8 years now. Like, no offense, but like last year's pick in Nate Wiggins has not gotten the return that they were hoping for. And even something like this year with Malachi Starks. Has he been awful this year? No. But you also got guys like Mike Green, a very solid pickup in the second round, hoping to make an impact. And what has he done? He hasn't really shown up, that's for damn sure. He's gotten a couple of sacks on the season, but other than that, he's been lost in the shuffle. And then you go to his free agent signings and his acquisitions in free agency. We can even do a 2-for-1 here and talk about re-signing a guy like Rashad Bateman, a guy who has quite literally done nothing throughout his entire NFL career, to a $12 million per year contract. Does Rashad Bateman deserve a $12 million per year contract? I guess in a league where Tutu Atwell is making $10 million, sure, you can justify that. But even with something like this year, where he played in 13 games, and you want to know what he got? 224 receiving yards. That is terrible. That is awful. You cannot justify something like that. And then we look at other signings like DeAndre Hopkins. Now, was DeAndre Hopkins an inherently bad signing? No, but if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, I don't think DeAndre Hopkins at 33 years old is the way to go. Like, this is the kind of signing that bad teams do. This is not the type of signing that a team with Super Bowl aspiration does. You do not go out and sign a DeAndre Hopkins. You go out and try to go after some of the bigger guys in free agency. Because this is your all-in year. Every year so far has been their all-in year. And they've done nothing with it. Like, look, a guy like Stephon Diggs is someone to go after. A guy like Darius Slayton would be another guy to go after because he's been a solid target. A guy like Cooper Kupp. Like, Keenan Allen. Like, there's so many guys you could have gone with, but you chose the aging wonder of fucking DeAndre Hopkins. No, that's not how you win a Super Bowl. Not to mention, too, some of their other failures at free agent signings like Nelson Aguilar, Odell Beckham Jr. Let's also mention the fact that they signed Cooper Rush to back them up, only for Cooper Rush to lose every game that he's played in. But, Eric DeCosta won't be fired because, this is going to be just another thing where, he's going to get away with it again just because, oh, wow, the coach is the fault. Everyone look at the coach. It was his fault, despite the fact that some of his drafting choices and some of his free agent signings are what brought them into here in the first place. All this is just to say that the Ravens constantly reloading every single goddamn year did not work. Something is not working. They are not getting to that upper level. They are basically the team from 2019, but repeated every single year. Now, granted, Lamar got hurt a couple of years, and that's when they didn't make the playoffs. But my point still mostly stands. This team has not changed from 2019, where they lost in the fucking divisional to the Tennessee Titans, playing fucking goddamn Ryan Tannehill. This team hasn't changed since then, and the constant reloading of like, hey, we're going to bring in a couple guys to finally get us over the hump. Hey, we're going to bring in a couple guys to finally get us over the hump. It's just flavor text at this point. And honestly, at some point, you have to sit here and at least debate on the idea that maybe, just maybe, they're not reloadable. They need to get a completely new philosophy. Whether that's, going from the down up, rebuilding through the draft, or whether that's, trading away a couple pieces to try to go for the future. But whatever it is, if they just bring in some new guy and expect for the same damn shit to work, it's just going to be Groundhog's Day, where, guess what, they'll get into the playoffs and then they'll get bounced by the Bills or the Chiefs, because that's what they always do. Reloading doesn't work. They need to go either from the ground up, a new team, new rebuild, and they need a brand new identity. Because at the end of the day, what is there for this team if they just keep on doing the same damn shit over and over again? And I don't think the recurring theme of wasted potential and opportunity is what the Baltimore Ravens should be known for. You want to know something? This is a very deep wide receiver draft class. Go out and finally get you that number 2. This team is very deep in offensive line. Reload and try to find a guy that'll replace Daniel Falele. Go out and get another pass rusher that isn't, Linsanity run 33-year-old Kyle Van Noy. The fact that Lamar Jackson has won 2 MVPs and has gotten 0 rings out of it, we can say Lamar's a playoff choker all we want. But at the end of the day, it's a team effort. And if we're going to call Lamar a playoff choker, then we got to put that shit right on John Harbaugh. There's only one thing else to say with this Ravens team, and that's try something new. Don't go in with the same roster next year. Go in with something completely new. Go in with a new mindset of either we're going all in this year, nothing's going to stop us, or we're going to take a few years to finally get better talent. Because staying where you are right that is not going to win anything. It just makes you frustrating. And there's nothing more frustrating than wasted potential.
Oh, that's good. I keep having this nagging feeling that I've forgotten something.
Hey, if you forgot it, it probably wasn't all that important.
Yeah, I guess.
Man, I can't believe during this entire talk, I just forgot to mention the Ravens blew another lead.
Man, I cannot lose my job right now. I'm still paying off that painting I bought.